Gary and the Joel Natale Show, live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here at 5th and State. Also live on Facebook and YouTube for our Monday connection with our political guru, Dean Pepicello, the Harbor Creek Township Supervisor. Good to see you, Dean.
Yeah,
it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you being here. And, the lay of the land. Let's get to some state news first.
Yeah.
Stacey Garrity drawing her hat in for the gubernatorial nomination for the GOP. And I had a feeling that there's several Trumpers that are kind of, they're because Senator Mastriano, the state senator, ran for governor last time, got blown out 15 points. Mm-hmm. And my understanding is in Washington, they're looking for somebody that can win. And Stacey Garrity has already proven she can win a statewide race. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's huge in Washington, too, because the Republicans will want to hold the presidency.
Right.
So I think if Josh Shapiro can't win Pennsylvania, he probably doesn't win the country, I guess. That'd be their thinking.
Right, yeah.
Certainly if they can engage him in a close race, make him vulnerable. I think those things from a national standpoint is they're thinking if we can keep Josh Shapiro off the top of the ticket, that's not a bad thing. Stacey Garrity is probably Josh Shapiro's worst nightmare.
Wow.
I think female.
Army or vet, military vet, yeah.
Vet. Has one statewide office, right? And isn't the extremist probably. So
yeah, she's got a lot of bipartisan things that she's done.
Yeah,
with getting more money out for the unclaimed stuff, and
done a nice job.
She's working on that stuff.
And I think in a state which is, I'm not going to say trending red, but certainly purple. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think there's any doubt about that. So all of those things, I don't think Stacey Garrity would be. Josh Shapiro's a tough opponent. I don't think Stacey Garrity's just getting in this race because she wants to build name recognition or take a run at something else and we'll figure it out later. I think she's in it to win it. So I think as Josh Shapiro, it's got to be the opponent he didn't want. He would have loved it. Heck, they ran ads to make sure Doug Mastriano was their opponent 3 years ago.
Right? Yeah, they were doing Operation Chaos on Mastriano for sure.
And it was successful. So now Mastriano has not announced his plans yet, right?
Right. But there was an article as recently as late July in Politico where they're quoting folks from the White House, from the Trump inner circle about Pennsylvania. And they feel that Mastriano's loss in 2022 cost them the Senate race as well as the State House. Believe it or not. I mean, that's a lot.
It is. It is. And he would get embarrassed again. But Mastriano's his own man.
Sure.
And a lot of people speaks for a lot of people in this state, just not enough to win an election, a statewide election. And I think that's the difference. So
my frustrating thing with him is that he closed himself off from media, and so here we are, interviewing Josh Shapiro, who was the Attorney General at the time, on this radio show, and Mastriano wouldn't come on the air.
Yeah, I spent half an hour with Doug Mastriano in Erie at an event. I was the Manufacturers Association Chamber or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I liked him. He speaks to me personally, right? Just that's to me personally. And as a local government official, he's a big believer in what we're doing. We have a lot of statewide issues that I think he would have changed for the betterment of this state. But he wasn't a candidate who could win the race, let's be honest. Yeah. And he's not now. He's not going to win a statewide race against Josh Shapiro. So you think he still goes against Garrity for the primary? Doug's his own man.
Yeah, sure.
There's no doubt. No one's going to tell him what to do. But he's not going to risk. I think if he thinks Stacey can win the state, then he's probably not going to risk that with a primary challenge. Josh Shapiro's not going to get a primary challenge.
Not at all.
He's in a beneficial position in all of this because he doesn't have to run to the left to win a primary. So you're going to see Josh Shapiro, the moderate, quote unquote.
Right.
You're going to see him through next year. Mm-hmm. He's going to run exactly the race he needs to run to win a Pennsylvania general election.
Yeah, right.
So they're both candidates are in very good spots. I think they both have to feel very good about where they are today. I don't know what Garrity's polling shows. Mm-hmm. It has to show, though, that she has a chance. The state is, to me, is still trending very slowly and very slightly red it was trending the other way.
Sure.
It's come around. It's still very purple, but I think it's a winnable race, and I think it's the opponent that Shapiro probably didn't want.
Well, and again, if you're willing to take Trump's political advisors at their word, I mean, they're seeing the Oz loss. I mean, they're seeing the Mastriano loss. I mean, they're looking at this and saying, there's no reason why we should, Pennsylvania should be so lopsided. It should be a tight race, and so maybe Garrity brings it. Do you see any other heir apparents there for governor statewide? I mean,
no.
I wonder if one of the Scott Perry's or one of the congressmen putting their hat in.
I don't see it. I think the Stacey Garrity. This was kind of the worst kept secret, right, in the state.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that was by design. So you're holding off announcing for a number of reasons, fundraising, all of those things for as long as you can. But there was no surprise that she was going to run. And I think that all of this was designed to keep everybody else at bay, that she has the best shot. You want to win the seat. You have to tell everybody you got to fall on your sword here.
Right.
So I don't think there'll be any meaningful candidates. We'll see. I guess it's still early, but she makes it. She's gonna make it very difficult for anybody else to announce.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, let's stay on the state here for a second. Here, as a township official, the state now is 8 weeks without a budget, right? I mean, all of July, almost all of August. Probably not going to see anything till mid-September. How's that affect you in paying your bills in Harbor Creek?
It doesn't affect us much. Now, does it affect PennDOT? Some of the agreements that we haven't heard any of that. Here's I get all the crying about that. I know it's a big deal, certainly for school districts, waiting on large chunks of money. But it's coming. They're going to pass it. It's going to happen. We have done tax anticipation notes at the local level. So you have bills. Our taxes don't go out. Bills don't go out until April, right? So you have bills in March. Then you take the loan. You take the tax anticipation note. You use that money until the money comes in. If they have to do it,
it's
the
just
world
a line
doesn't
of
end.
credit, basically.
Exactly. So, look, I get it, and it shouldn't happen, and get a deal done. But this is politics. It happens. How many years does it happen? More often than not.
Every year, yes.
So don't be surprised. I'm so sick of the gnashing of teeth and the whining from everybody that the world's going to end because the state doesn't have a budget. You're going to get your money, and if it's 8 weeks later than you were going to get it, give me a break. I mean, I know it's a big deal, but the money's coming. So
well,
I think it's overblown.
The folks in Philly, though, are kind of getting nasty, and there was an article in the Inquirer this morning about that. Hey, if everybody kept their own money, right? It would basically Philadelphia feels like they're giving the tail wag the dog, that the rural areas, being the tail, is wagging the real economic forces in Pennsylvania, which are Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, and they have actually included Erie for some reason in this list there. But basically, that's where the money gets generated, yet you've got these rural legislators that are kind of jerking Philly around, especially when it comes to SEPTA, the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transit Authority, and, who doesn't seem to be able to ever figure out a way to balance a budget down there.
Yeah, no kidding. They just want more money for their buses. I follow it every day, by the way.
Do you really?
Yeah, that always that issue fascinates me. Well, interestingly enough, Josh Shapiro has, and I know it hasn't gotten to his desk yet even to sign, right? But come on, he's the governor. He's involved in all the negotiations, right? Shapiro has made it a point to go to rural areas. He thinks that campaign thinks they can make inroads with some rural voters in Pennsylvania.
Sure.
I'm not saying you're going to Wattsburg and think you're going to win, but maybe you're going to suburbs who've traditionally been voted red, but can be purple to some extent.
They always hang their hat on. I've been to all 67 counties.
Yeah, but he has done it. He is doing it, and you're going to see more and more of it now because he needs those votes. So I think that if you're the governor lobbying your one vote Democratic majority in the House, let's go ahead and throw them a bone, right? Because I need these people. Inner city Philadelphia, whatever, they're going to vote for me anyways, right? Pittsburgh stuff, they're going to vote for me anyways. Let's find a way to almost weave politics into the budget. So I think some of that is happening. He has made it a point. Shapiro's made it a point to go to some of those areas. It wouldn't surprise me if that's part of the budget negotiation. And again, Pennsylvania is this, we've talked about this. It's such a difficult state. You have Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, there's so many people centered in those areas. But yet we talked about redistricting where so much of the landmass is a different, it's a difficult place to govern. It's a difficult place to do a budget. And that's why here we are every year. And you've got the House with a one seat. You got to split Congress, right? Senate Republican, House Democrats. So all of these things are a perfect storm, Joel, for a delayed budget.
Sure.
And here we are.
Yeah, I mean, the Senate passes a budget. It's dead on arrival in committee in the House. Again, with this slight, tiny little...
Right. Done by what? Redistricting, as the Texas lawmakers come back.
Oh,
by the way,
yes.
Apparently they're on their way back, which, by the way, still, that issue continues to get headlines. Redistricting, gerrymandering happens all the time, everywhere. Every 10 years, because that's how it plays out.
Pennsylvania's like the king of redistricting.
It's everywhere.
The state Supreme Court, did it a couple times
of course.
In the last two cycles.
I
right?
get your mid-decade, right? And that's the deal in Texas.
Yeah.
But if the Democrats have control in every decade, or whatever party's in control at that time, every 10 years when you do the census, they're going to draw the lines the way they want. So why wouldn't it lead then? We're in the power now. Let's do it right now. This is what the people want. Let's redistrict right now. This is not going away. They're going to continue to do this. They'll now start to do it in the mid. And redistricting and gerrymandering is going to happen in Illinois and California, right? It's New York. All these states that are complaining are gerrymandered to heck.
Yes.
Right? So
they said if this were to go all the way down to, to the floor, basically scorched earth, everybody's gerrymandered. If you just did it, it's still a net 4 for the Republicans,
right?
In the Congress,
sure.
That basically you could squeeze out every Republican to stay, because they have to be contiguous,
right?
That's the issue.
Well, contiguous can,
but it could look like a salamander.
That's exactly right. If you think your vote is less important, it's even more important now that this redistricting game starts because the party in power will start to redistrict. Your vote is going to matter even more because of this, because states are going to do this in the middle of decades.
All right. So last question, and then we got to go to break. Do you see that we will look at our districts here in Pennsylvania, and will that mean any kind of threat to Mike Kelly? Because right now, even if you were to make the districts more consolidated as far as geography, like if you included Warren County, for example, into the 16th and took that from GT and just made it more of an Erie, northwestern PA thing, it goes more red. Because right now with Newcastle in there, it makes it bluer, right? By going down the 79 corridor, including Butler, but it's super red. But it's actually bluer than it could be.
The only route for Pennsylvania to do that, to take the Mike Kelly seat and find a way to make it blue in northwestern Pennsylvania, is to be Erie only. And the problem is we're losing seats because Pennsylvania is losing population.
Exactly.
So it has to. The area around northwestern Pennsylvania, Erie County, is totally red for the most part. Right. Most of it is totally red. I think that seat stays red forever. Not forever, for a very long time. There's no way to redistrict it to get the population numbers because you need a bigger number of population numbers because you're losing representatives because Pennsylvania is losing population.
I think I even asked...
That seat won't change.
I think I even asked Kathy Delkemper, do you ever see a Democrat winning again? I don't think she was too hopeful about it.
Only if you get Erie County only. That'd be the only way. And the only way to do that is have people come flocking into Pennsylvania, and that is not going to happen in our lifetime.
Think about it. In the last 30 years, we've had one Democratic congressperson, and that was Kathy for 2 years.
And that was Erie County by itself, right?
Erie County.
It
wasn't.
Crawford,
it had to include Crawford, but she was able to pull it off.
Not all the way,
because English ended up being. She went after English during the Obama wave.
Yeah.
Obama wave, yes.
Right.
2008.
And everybody's time is up eventually. You know what I mean? So sometimes, but again, she was only there 2 years.
Exactly.
That's it.
And then it turned right over.
Exactly. So no, I think that'll be our Congress.
Pennsylvania politics always stays fascinating for the bellwether here. I'm Joel Natale. We've got Dean Pepicello with us here. Stay with us. More ahead on Talk Erie. Tuck Erie and the Joel Natale Show, the danger zone of politics, and Dean Pepicello just jumps right in there. All right, let's talk D.C. here. So now you've got the National Guard, who's assisting Metro Police Department, MPD. My understanding is that the Guard is kind of hanging out in the kind of federal areas like the National Mall and by the monuments and the MPD is doing like the inner city as well as getting support from other federal agencies and things. But President Trump is asking, hey, we need some more boots on the ground. And so West Virginia, South Carolina, some other red states are sending National Guardsmen there. A lot of people don't like this look. What's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, the presidents love using emergency powers, so he's got this 30 days to it's the same thing as they've done, I think, with immigration, basically, and deportations. So he's got this 30-day window, allegedly, where he's saying that there's an emergency, a crime emergency. I saw him today talk about this. I didn't see much. I haven't seen much of the news in the last week, but I saw him talk about it today. Right. And he made an interesting case, and his case was, I think everybody heard this. My father taught me when if the front door is dirty of a restaurant, I don't go in. And this is our capital, and we've got issues. I saw over the weekend that they were rounding up homeless people. Everybody thought it was this awful thing. Well, they're rounding up homeless people and taking them to shelters. Some are choosing not to stay. Okay, but they do have a plan to help the homeless as well. Like you don't see many of those things in the headlines. But he said today, my wife and I went out to dinner for the first time in 2 years or something last night. I don't think anybody really believes that. But right. his argument is, I feel that DC is safer. And that was it. It's simply, to him, to me, it's simply about that. I know people make this about power. I get it. Do we really think that Donald Trump is that much more powerful as the leader of the free world that he called in the National Guard to clean up to arrest some criminals and get rid of some homeless people in D.C.? I don't think so. I don't think this is a power move. I don't think it's out of bounds. I think it's working. I get where they say that I guess the crime numbers are down. Well, crime numbers could be down and still not very good. Have you been to D.C.? Because I have. I was there on Sunday morning, and I wasn't sure where I was, and I was really uncomfortable.
Wow.
And this was a while ago.
Yeah.
But you hear that all the time. I think it's probably effective. Is it the best way to go? I don't know that. Mm-hmm. By the way, the D.C. police support this. Maybe not the chief.
Yeah, the union is definitely behind it.
What's that tell you?
That is something.
The rank and file say they need help. I'm telling you right now, PSP covers Harbor Creek Township, and we've gone to them and said, hey, if you want some help, we'll get some local guy. We'll talk about that. We're good, man. Cops don't want help, unless they need it. They don't want to admit they can't do the job.
Well,
Sometimes you don't have enough
they're 800.
People.
They're 800 officers short from their allotment.
That's all I needed to hear was the union's like, hey, we're good. And it's probably working. Now, what's he going to do in 30 days? Well, I guess you have that conversation then. Is he going to extend some martial law or do something? That would be, to me, that'd be over the top. I don't see it as this awful thing, and I saw him explain it today. I'd love Washington residents who are objective. I'd like their opinion on it. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if we'll ever get that.
There was some remark that said, for years and years, there's been gang-related graffiti on national properties, and it's finally getting cleaned up. Why? Again, it's the broken window theory. Why wouldn't it have been cleaned up before now? Why? What's the issue?
There are plenty of leaders who don't believe in it. You don't have to look any further in this city right now. They kind of, it's a hands off. We're going to treat everybody with kid gloves. We're doing our best for you. I get that. I don't know if that's a strategy that works. And I think if he goes beyond D.C. and if involuntarily sends the Guard into Chicago and some of these other without someone asking for it that actually has jurisdiction, that's a problem. But you're not seeing
that's
any
kind
of
of what he did in
L.A.
with the protests. Right?
But again, they're gone. They did their thing. They're gone. That's probably more of a show of force, like ICE showing up at the Gavin Newsom press conference. Come on, we know that's a political setup. I get those things are politics and showy, but I think this was legit. It seems to me. That was his argument today.
Wow. If it can really change the quality of life for residents of D.C., I would think it's going to be a net positive.
Yeah.
We are throwing around these really, really big and powerful words like authoritarian and dictatorship and and there are people that are legitimately worried at the idea that you've got troops, you've got people in ACUs on, I think that's what they call those uniforms, on the streets in DC. It's an issue.
I think Trump sees something and finds a way to get it done. Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, I think that's his thinking.
All right, let's sneak a phone call in here. Hi, you're live with Joel and Dean and Shaney here on Talk Erie.
Yeah, good afternoon. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to go to D.C. and take your family and see all the free stuff that we paid for, all the museums, all the monuments that are free?
Absolutely.
And you don't have that opportunity right now because it's too dangerous? That's a little ridiculous. I would love to see that stuff, but I'm not taking my family there to see it. No way. Not right now, not until it's cleaned up. There's no way I'd go to that city. I won't go to any big cities. That's a shame. And there's a lot of things to see in big cities, but you're not safe. There's your first priority, safety.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Simple.
You got it. Bye-bye. I am out of time here. I'm up against the break here. Yeah, I mean, it's an issue where, I never, when we traveled with the kids for their 8th grade trips, we never felt any issues there. But
Depends on where you are. And
Right.
what, I mean, the per capita murder rate is higher in D.C. than Mexico City.
Oh,
that's
my gosh.
not insignificant, right?
No, it sure isn't. All right, we've got Dean Pepicello with us here. We've got to take our big break at the bottom of the hour. Stay with us. It's Talk Erie on a Monday where we talk politics here at 105.9 WZTE. Appreciate you tuning in to Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show, live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here. It's Mondays with Dean Pepicello, our political guru. Dean, let's take another phone call real quick here. Hi, thanks for waiting. You're live on Talk Erie. Hello.
Hey, Cougene.
What's up?
I got a little update. I guess there was a drone strike in Ukraine. Hit some like big. Looks. I don't know if it was a hotel or like a big apartment complex or whatnot. I think it sounds like about at least 7 people dead while the meeting's going on. I mean, I guess does the rest of the world and us have to come together and go to war with Russia? I mean, what else can we do? What do we do?
Wow.
I mean, either that or we surround them, nothing in, nothing out of Russia. I mean, that's going to lead to war. I mean, you could say Trump, Biden, whatever. It is what it is. And if we're going to stop it, that's what we got to do. I mean, it's messed up. I mean, Zelensky's in Washington D.C. and they were dropping drone bombs still.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be intimidated by the West's demands.
I got a quick Italian story.
Go ahead,
real quick. It's Wolf went to confession, told the priest, I killed the chickens, I killed the sheep, I did this, I did that, I did all this bad stuff. And then the priest told me, you got to stop doing that. You can't do it. You can't kill it. It's no good. It's a sin, and blah, blah, blah. And as this priest is telling the wolf not to do this, they used to put like a little bell on the sheep, or 1 or 2 of them, so they knew when they were coming or where they were, the shepherd. Now, we're talking old school here.
Right, yeah.
So the wolf could hear that bell ringing, and the priest is still preaching. And the wolf leans over and he says to the priest, hurry up, the sheep are starting to come by. The moral of the story is he ain't going to change.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's a wolf, and that's how he is.
Yeah.
We either kill him or we make their people do it. Whatever comes first. That's how you're going to stop this, if you're going to stop it. I don't think he's going to stop until he marches all the way across. So that's where we're at. You can criticize left, right, whatever, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I say stop everything going in and out, and either oil, any of them. Okay, everybody stand up. Who wants to take a swing?
Yeah, it might be some pretty big allies like India is an issue. But
what are we going to do?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Let them do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to let them do it.
Right.
Carry the big stick. You got to swing it once in a while,
All right. I got to go. I got a full board. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. See ya.
All right.
Bye. Get another call. Hi, you're live on Talk Erie with Dean, Joel, and Shaney.
Hey, Dino. Nice to hear your voice, man.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I know you've been occupied here. So I don't know if you've seen it or not or know this, but D.C. is 44% black, okay? Now, they're protesting in D.C. about bringing all this law enforcement in. And, if it's 44% black, most likely most of this crime is black-on-black crime. So I'm watching these protests, and I don't see any black people there at all. These are all old white people that's protesting. So is it that black people support Trump, or are these paid protesters? I mean, that's something to think about, because I'm telling you, if you look at the video, you won't see one black person protesting. But anyhow, just real quick on Josh Shapiro. Stacey can't beat Josh.
Really? You don't think?
I don't believe so. And what really makes me angry is Josh is going to run for governor, okay? He's going to win, and he's not going to step down, and he's going to run for president, which he's not going to win. He'll never be president. But, I mean, when we do this, these people should have to step down if they want to run for a higher office. They shouldn't be able to keep their job. How's he going to campaign for president while he's governor of PA? It's going to be Davis taking care of PA. But anyhow, Dino. Like I said, I'm glad you're back. I got to go out here and cut my grass, so I'm going to put my headphones on and listen to some Taylor Swift like James Coney does.
I saw that. You see that video?
No,
so odd.
Have a good one.
All righty, see ya. Let's get one more call in here. Hi, you're live on Talk Erie. Hello.
Hey, Joel, Dina, and Shaney. Hey, I wanted to throw something out there. Calling Josh Shapiro a moderate? I don't think so.
No, I think that's how he wants to be viewed.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's exactly. He was the one, and I will remind you, even Wolf, and Wolf was pretty far left. And guys, you'll never see the news media using the term far left. It's always far right, never far left. Just watch it. You'll never see that.
Mainstream? Absolutely.
And the other thing is that Dennis Owens, who's the reporter, Jet picks up his pieces.
Right. He's next star down in Harrisburg. Go ahead. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next star sucks. Anyway, they're far left. Used to be local news was good, and now it's in. I watch the weather. That's about it. Anyway, Dennis Owens, Josh Shapiro was the first governor in how many, probably ever, who revoked funding for pregnancy aid centers. Now, somebody is either, from Planned Parenthood, I should say Planned Parenthood, is whispering in his ear about that, saying it's politically, expedient for him. But I mean, not even Wolf pulled that funding, and locally, that's like $150,000 to $200,000 a year for the Women's Care Center, which is Erie's best kept secret, and I don't see any news stories about it. I mean, they do amazing work.
We had Randy report on here, about a month or so ago. But yeah, he was mentioning that because it was like you say, years and years and years where that was a line item there, and Shapiro out of the blue pulled that funding. Absolutely,
likely because he's running for president. He's running for president. He's got to win a Democratic primary for president, right? He doesn't have that burden as governor. Mm-hmm. He's going to have it as president. He's trying to walk this incredible tightrope.
Pro-life would be a Democrat. That's for sure.
I appreciate it.
The last Democrat that was pro-life was Casey Senior.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, man. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I mean, Stacey can't win. Is that real?
No, I don't. She's not the favorite, but I wouldn't say she can't win. Oh, I don't think that's. First of all, the guy's running for president. That's her first issue right now. Is the guy's going to run for president? How long is he going to be governor anyways?
Right.
Why he's not going to focus on Pennsylvania? I mean, Bill's kind of right about that. I think Garrity's argument will be that. Mm-hmm. This guy's not staying anyways. He's not even thinking about this job. Why would you reelect him? That's a pretty good starting point from a candidate who's got a pretty good resume.
The early polls are, and they don't mean anything, but they're not showing that Josh has more than a couple percentage points. I mean, it looks like it's Buttigieg and Newsom right now that are the kind of the banner carriers.
Yeah,
for,
not surprising. I mean, they've got the most national recognition.
They have the name recognition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, you're live on Talk Erie. Hello.
Hello. Was driving around, so I thought I'd got home, and I thought I'd call in because I was listening. Dean, can you take a few of those bungalows that Britton Davis had made up and maybe put them along the Shades Beach and rent them out?
Well,
there's an opportunity there.
If I did, I can promise you, Joe, I'd get all the permits necessary. That I can tell
you. My thing is 3 or 4. Well, one, he gives them to the city, so the city then has to, have oversight over them or manage them. And 3 or 4 years down the line, what do we do with these things? Because they're still supposed to be temporary. Do we, if we get rid of them, we're taking homes away from the homeless. So this is not a well thought out plan, I think, by Davis and that. Secondly, to Joel, how soon are you going to have the woman running for governor on your show? Is that next week?
We're trying to get her as soon as we can. Yes.
Again, any Republican running, you'll have them on as soon as you can type situation.
Well, and again, we are interested in breaking news stories, right? So
okay.
And you know what? We need to talk to Josh's people because it's been a while since the governor's been on. Honestly, I mean, it's been a while.
Yes. Before he's been on after the eclipse, right?
No. Yes, he has. He called in. Sometime this spring.
The one thing I credit still Shapiro on is taking on the Catholic Church and winning. And I'll just say this: St. Jude's Parish.
Okay. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep moving. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, wait.
What?
Two things. Is it safe to send our school children to Washington, D.C. on school trips? I mean, there's all these crimes, rapists, shootings, and all this. Do they have to go through the National Guard now to be safe, or weren't they ever safe down there?
Yeah.
All the school kids. Because every year, I mean, Harbor Creek sends them, General McLean sends them, Seneca, all the Erie County schools.
All three of my kids went on school trips to D.C. Absolutely.
Yes.
I do have to go, man.
One other thing.
Yeah, real quick.
Okay. We won't talk about the security lapse up in Alaska.
Okay.
And that he didn't give away Alaska back to Putin.
Okay. Thanks so much. Yeah, we're not giving properties away. We're asking for Canada to become our 30th
and Greenland,
51st state, and Greenland.
Those stories have gone away quickly. The trolling went away.
I hear that it would be really good for Greenland to become a part of America. Like Guam and Puerto Rico.
I'm sure that it would. Asking people to give up their current statehood is a pretty big ask.
Oh my gosh.
Shane's a mess.
It is so hard for me to not say anything.
Driving right over the edge, man.
I'm pushing. I'm trolling.
I'm not doing that, Shane.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So, all right. There's a lot there.
I thought the negotiations with Putin.
Yeah.
I have some interesting thoughts. I think this is not Reagan Gorbachev. I think.
Remember that
right?
That went down though.
Right.
Remember how Reagan walked away at Reykjavik,
And it all recovered, right? He had to walk away. That didn't I don't want to see. It's early. And let's see where it goes. Yeah. I think was it Putin who requested the meeting? I thought, anyways, came to Alaska, right? So whatever, he's going to meet with Trump.
I mean, it's pretty remarkable to have Trump there in Alaska and gets the B-2 bomber, the stealth bomber, and the stealth fighters accompanying. I mean, like the show of force was like, you know what? Don't mess with the U.S.
I get it, but if this thing was like the opening of the Olympics, for goodness sakes. I mean, everybody's covering the thing for hours, and they come out and nobody said a word. Well,
yeah, they didn't get anywhere.
We like where we're at, but they're not saying anything.
And then Zelensky's coming to the White House and he bombs the crap out of them.
Exactly.
Russia over Ukraine. I mean, it's horrible.
Listen, we'll see where it goes. I think it's good that they had conversations. I don't understand at this point, why would Ukraine quit? Like, okay, are they really losing the war? Because many reports say it's continued to be a draw.
Well, remember they pulled off that crazy thing with the drones and blowing up the aircraft. I mean, they've had some major wins in all of this.
I don't see how
Ukraine has.
I don't see how they give up territory. I don't see why they voluntarily do that at this point. I don't. Again,
maybe you go back to the Obama lines. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not sure this thing gets done. And they've certainly set the table. Trump said today, this war is going to end. Of course, he didn't put an end date on it, but he used that phrase. This war is going to end. So,
what about this argument by the press saying that by allowing Putin coming to Alaska and rolling the red carpet, that it's some kind of it was just a pandering to him.
I know.
Marco was saying, hey, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, was like, you got to actually talk to him if you're going to get a deal.
I'm not. There's people showing clips of Trump clapping his hands as Putin walks down the red carpet. Come on. You're taking a small snippet. I think Trump is optimistic that something can get done. Now, I don't know if it does, but listen, I don't have any problem with that. I don't think that's very fair. What I think is fair is you made this big deal out of this thing and this huge show, and right now we got nothing. And Putin stuck it to you with his finger in your nose by bombing him now.
100%.
So I think there's still problems with this whole thing, and I think they're a long ways away from peace.
Not very optimistic way to end, but here we are. Thank you, Dino.
Sure.
Our political guru and just such a wealth of information. Appreciate it. Stay with us here. We'll wrap things up in just a second.